What's going on, everyone? Alex Da Silva, Happy as Larry Group. I hope you are well. And welcome to your daily dose of happiness. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I hope you are just smashing through life. I wanted to talk to you guys today. I often sit and try to plan these videos and think about, what am I going to say? What can I share? What have I experienced? Because I think it's so valuable to be able to share things that are real. I'm so passionate about that. I don't want to create things, that aren't happening to me. I don't want to create, this kind of vision or these things that myself and Lucy and our business that we aren't following. I want to show you everything that we practice, the good, the bad, the ugly. I think I shared earlier in a week, I just went through a bit of a tough spot where I just started to go into a bit of a slump. Didn't really understand why. It just started to kind of feel a little bit low, and it was quite unusual for me because I haven't experienced that for a while. I have my morning practices, and I always get myself mentally in a really, really good place, in a good shape so that I can kind of go through the day. But look, life is real. Life is unexpected. Sometimes we just get sucker punched with an old behavior. Sometimes an emotion comes up. Sometimes we just feel a little bit low. That's just how life is. And I listen to videos every day, pretty much the same ones. They really pump me up and it makes me feel good. And then I have things that I read or I listen to that helps me to get through the day. And what I've learned continuously is that there is no such thing as perfection. There is no such thing as, every day is going to be okay. It's going to be a yay day, and force myself to be or to experience something that my body just isn't feeling it at the moment. And I think, and I'll explain the reason why. Do I have control of how I feel and my emotions? Yes, absolutely. Can I attach to them and kind of go down that road? Yes, of course I can, whether it's good or bad. Do I have the choice to not do that? Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. Sometimes you just have to sit there and experience it. And what I mean by that is not attaching to the emotion or the feeling or the behavior or whatever comes up for you. Let's say it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Let's use depression, for example, because that's what kind of came up for me. That was what kind of started. And what happens for me is that maybe a thought pops in. I'm not feeling very motivated today. And we have two parts to our brain, positive, negative. As soon as that kicks in, my brain says it again. Sorry, what do you mean? Well, I'm just not really feeling it today. Feel a little bit, just not feeling very motivated. Okay, no worries. We'll help you with that. And then all of a sudden my brain gets flooded with thoughts of depression and not feeling motivated, and I start to feel low, and I get further and further down, into those emotions, and I really then start to kind of buy into it. And what happened with me is that I then grab my phone and I start going through it, start just like a zombie, just going through, social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be, and just clicking on things that I have no interest in whatsoever. But it's escapism. I'm trying to escape from what's going on for me mentally and emotionally. I'm trying to escape from that. And what that is, it's called numbing. I'm trying to numb myself out of my problem or whatever I attach myself to. How did I break that? What I did is I snapped out of it. I saw what I was doing. I realized my behavior. And what I did is I took myself back. I was looking at my phone and I went, hang on a second. I always turn my phone upside down. I put my phone down. I said, what's going on for me? What triggered that? And then the questions begin. Not as in let's let my mind run wild. Is I start to ask myself real questions. Why am I in that place? What's got me here right now? Actually, nothing. Why am I feeling that way? What's caused me to feel that way? Well, My business isn't where I want it to be. You know, I'm not kind of sitting here rolling in millions and billions. And, you know, I want to be. Okay. The business, you know, is a few years old, and, you know, I've been doing it part-time for most of that, and only just recently started doing it full-time. Am I in a place where I should be there, realistically? No. Am I doing everything I'm supposed to get to where I want to be? Yes. Okay. And then I ask myself another question. So what do I need to do to get myself out of this? And just asking myself little questions like this allows me to be able to see the reality of my thinking. And that can apply to anything, whether it's stress, anxiety, depression, you know, whether you're having an argument because you had an argument with your partner before you left the house, and all of a sudden it's become a movie and you're going through it again in your head, but you're creating something that actually isn't happening. And this can happen. It's completely normal. But what we do is we can go the whole day, the whole week, and then we get to the end of the week and somebody says to you, hey, how are you feeling? Oh, I feel awful. I had an awful week. This is what happened. And then actually, when you start to talk about it, it really isn't that bad. Or if it is, if you really stop yourself and go through questions and you start to bring the reality out of it, you realize that actually, you know, it really isn't that much of a big deal if it's centered in the mind. Of course, there are things that happen outside of our control. Somebody falls sick, or something generally does happen to somebody, you know, something else, you know, within family or whatever it might be, or maybe something around health, you know, with you as an individual. Of course, these things are completely different. So you deal with that in a different way. But how you deal with that, for example, is exactly the same way as you would deal with it when it's a thought, or it's something that, you know, that you're just allowing your mind to get away from. What do? You put action. You don't just sit there and you allow yourself to feel ill. If somebody is ill, you go and help them. You know, if somebody's not well, you go and care for them. Well, why is it different when it comes down to you? And I wanted to share that with you guys, because it's so easy for us to escape into fantasy, you know, and get into those kind of zombie modes, and then fall into things like stress, anxiety, depression, and really not know how to get ourselves out of it. And how we do that, how I do that, as I shared with you, is I bring myself back to the present. So I become mindful again, and I take action, put my phone down and start to go through the reality. Where am I at the moment? Well, I'm sat here talking to you. You know, should I really be feeling it this way? Is there anything that caused me to be in this place? No. So what do I need to do about it? X, Y, and Z. And start to put actions in place to get yourself out of this situation. Right, I need to write a few to-do lists. I need to make sure that I'm taking action. I need to get back to work. I need to go and do some stuff. You know, I need to be a little bit more strict with myself. I need to make sure I do more meditation, or I do it at a certain time. I need to maybe just do a few more affirmations, whatever it may be, but something that's actionable, something that you can do that takes yourself away from it. And you know what? If you're still feeling, then just sit with it for a little while. Your emotions aren't going to kill you, you know, and that's one of the things I've realized. No one's ever died from their emotions. You know, I certainly haven't, you know, but my stupid actions in the past took me to almost to that place. And that's what I've realized. You know, I have a choice to action my thinking. If I take action on those things, they're either going to be good or bad, you know. And sometimes we overcomplicate things, but you know what? Life is actually quite simple. It really, really is. And I hope you take something away from today. I wanted to share this stuff with you guys. Sometimes I want to share just some reality, things that I go through and what I experience, because I think we all should. As a motivational speaker, I get to speak everywhere. I've just come from a speaking engagement, and you know, and I always try to be really real and just, you know, to share reality, because even though I motivate and I inspire people, it doesn't mean that I'm constantly feeling inspired. Sometimes I have down days like everybody else. Even, you know, I experience the same things as the people who aren't feeling inspired. Why? Because I'm human, and every single person I know who's realistic, who do this for a living as well, they will tell you that they go through it too. Why? Because we need you to understand that life isn't a bed of roses. We all wake up exactly the same. We all have the same emotions, but what we do is we take different actions. We take positive actions, even if it means sitting with it. So have an amazing day, an amazing afternoon, an amazing evening, wherever you are in the world, and take some positive action in your life, or just sit with it. Sit with your emotion, experience it. What does it feel like? Why am I feeling this way? And just allow it to happen. There is nothing wrong. You will start to see sitting in your uncomfortable starts to become comfortable. And if you can become comfortable in the uncomfortable, that's a really great place to be, because you start to realize that life isn't really that bad. Your emotions come and go like everything else. I heard Dr. Oh God, his name has escaped me, but somebody who I watched a video and I read one of his books before, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talked about that we only truly experience our emotions for 3 minutes. The true effects of our emotions, and hopefully I'm not going to do this justice. I remember watching one of his videos, and apparently he even said to his kids, right, you've got 3 minutes and you kind of experience the emotion, the truth of that emotion, and that's it. You let go. There is no reason for you to hold on to it, because anything else past that, then well, you're just hanging on. And you know what? I tried this, and it's very true. We don't hold on to our emotions. They don't really sit with us for that long. And here's the thing. Watch a child, watch your child, watch a niece, watch a baby. I watch Ruby sometimes, and she goes and throws her little tantrums. But what she does is she'll run across the living room. She'll throw herself on this little sofa behind me very dramatically. And then she gets over it. And then something that she said no to a few seconds ago, she all of a sudden then says yes. And then we're playing. Because they just experience the emotion for what it is. And when we become adults, we drag these things out, and they become resentments, and then we get more resentful and more resentful. It becomes one thing on top of the other, because what your brain is designed to do is two things. They will either feed you endless and limitless amount of positivity, or they will feed you endless and limitless amount of negativity. And that is within our control. Be great. Be fantastic, be absolutely phenomenal. And as always, leave your comments below. Tell me whether you agree. Tell me whether you put these things into practice. How do you deal with it? I'd love to know how you deal with things, because for me, I'm a huge learner. I'm a teacher first. I'm a student first before I try to teach. So I love to hear from people and to hear what they think, what their practices are, and what works for them, because it's not, it's not one size fits all. And listen, keep practicing, keep leaving your comments, subscribe, like, share. Thank you for always being supportive, always sharing and being part of this community. I love every single one of you with every single fiber of my body. This is my gift. This is what I love to do. And I am so grateful that I get to do this with you guys every single day. I'll speak to you again very soon. Take care.